6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
Procedure 3-170 for westbound comments. Propulsion's normal.
This is RC on countdown, please. Relinquish control of the camera, please.
Roger. States have confirmed. Stage 1 has entered its flip.
Now we've had successful confirmation of, again, MECO, stage separation, second engine start, and the boost back burn. Now, the next major milestone is fairing separation. That should occur any second now. We're not going to show video coverage of it, but we will confirm that the fairings have separated, meaning that in second stage are the only vehicles continuing on to their final orbit.
Stage 1, boost back shutdown.
Alright, so we'll address the fairing deployment here in a second once we have more information, but for now, we're going to shift our transition back to the focus on the secondary mission, which is the landing and recovery of the first stage. Now, it is nighttime, so we're looking at a black screen, but we should be able to see some burning of the second and third burns here in the landing sequence. Quick sidebar, we did get successful confirmation that the fairings did deploy. So the primary mission has concluded up to this point successfully, and now Zuma and second stage are continuing on to their final orbit. So we will focus back to the secondary mission now, which is this 3-burn phase of the landing of the first stage. Now, we already saw the boost back burn and got confirmation of that. The 2 remaining burns are the re-entry burn and the landing burn. Now, the second is the re-entry burn, and that is solely intended to decelerate the vehicle so that we go through the atmosphere subject to as little stress as possible. As I mentioned earlier, heat and pressure can accumulate. That thermal stress is very severe. As you go through the denser and denser atmosphere, you want to be going as slowly as possible. So we perform a re-entry burn just prior and during re-entry so that we have as little stress as possible on the vehicle. Now, that will happen at about T plus 6 minutes and 17 seconds, and that re-entry burn will last for about 15 seconds. We'll tune into that.
Stage 1 entry burn has started. And stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And as you just heard and saw, we had successful startup and shutdown of the re-entry burn, the second of 3 burns in the phase to get back to landing zone 1. Now, the third and final one, as it is self-named, is the landing burn. This one lasts a little bit longer. It's about 17 seconds in duration. It's coming up in about 30 seconds. We should get pretty good footage of it coming down from the top of the screen. And again, that's a 17-second burn. So the legs deploy and we touch down on the surface of landing zone 1 here in this attempt.
Stage 1 is transonic. Stage 1 landing burn is started. Landing legs
Falcon has landed. Now, it was dark, but we saw some great ocular reflection as the heat and the light from the engine reflected off of landing zone 1, so you could see it as it deployed its legs and touched down. Now, with the transition from the successful deployment of the payload fairings and the landing of the secondary mission, that first stage, we'll now conclude our coverage of this Zuma mission. We'd like to thank our customer, Northrop Grumman. We'd like to thank the United States Air Force and the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station Range for all of their support in every single mission. We would additionally like to thank the Federal Aviation Administration for their part in regulating and